Hi, how are you? Great. This is basically a school's new track introduction on data science. As you all know, Guru School is basically trying to strive for better and better training sessions for each and every job aspirants. And we are looking for adding a new technologies, new tracks with the ease of hands-on trainings and practicals. So this is another feather in that cap. We are trying to introduce a new track called data analysis with Excel. So what is special on the track? Let's have a look at it, what it contains. Let's have a look at it. How can it help to get a better job? Let's try to understand that as well. And we'll understand how this data analysis with the Excel is one of the best track as far as new job aspirant schools. We are talking about the basic grassroots level training for data. How, what do you mean by data? How do we collect it? How do we clean it? How do we present it? And how do we analyze it? So all these combined together, you're going to play around with the data, and that's what all organizations across the globe do, right? And for the business, as in job aspirants, we're going to help these people to build better and better data analysis day by day. How could we do more as an contributory work on data analysis? That's what we're going to learn throughout this track. This track duration is from 6 to 8 weeks. That's what we plan. So it's not very lengthy track, but a short and sweet track for new job aspirants. You can grab your job offer within first few weeks as well. And as a normal, 6 pillars of Guru Schools that we'll discuss in a few slides, we are trying to help you out to get the job offer as early as possible. So from day one, you can take help of the interview preparations, the resume preparations, the project on job help, and all those kind of scenarios to make sure you can basically go through the interviews with a full confidence. And of course, we're going to help you with the profile marketing to share your profile across our technical partners. We have lots and lots of partners with us, and that's how we work basically. We are have a group of good number of trained people where we keep marketing, we keep basically giving them the necessary job interviews step by step. And that's how I believe Guru School is helping the job aspirants in the best possible way. And that's what we are looking for. Yeah, just the one thing, we are targeting specifically North American and Canadian market as of now. We are expanding, but the time will tell. As of now, we are trying to encourage the job aspirants from North America as well as Canada only. Okay, let me take a step further and start with introductory lecture or introductory session. That's what we want to call it, to understand what all these data analysis track covers, right? So let's take a step further. So what we are looking for at Guru School, this is a data analyst new track where we try to understand how data analytics shaping up the North American corporates. It's between basically, quite a startup track for big data or the data scientist. If you want to be a data scientist, this could be your first step if you have never worked in IT. Data science is a quite mature track, and there was some good demand in terms of having to have a stepping stone for joining such high transactional or high programming track. So this could be one of the that stepping stone. That's what we are looking for. Same thing for big data as well. To basically build a career in big data, data analytics can get you started there. So this is a kind of more of a non-technical track, but still we are trying to address a bit of technicality to make sure you are on the stepping stone of going technical. So here you are transitioning from a typical non-technical to technical background, and this track is going to help you on that as well. Okay, as we all know, we'll try to understand how do we categorize this data mining, data analysis, data science, and all those mumbo jumbos of data. Data is at center of every IT organizations, and right now, as we know, in smartphone, everywhere, smartphone, smart TV, every smart thing, these are all data-driven entities. These are data-driven instruments which we are tackling day by day. Okay, so here we are trying to understand how do you tackle this data? What do you mean by data? What's the difference between information and data? What do you mean by qualified data, quantitative data? How do we analyze these data? What are the types of analysis we do? What type of reporting we do? How do we collect the data? And so on and so forth. Okay, how do you basically get the data problem sorted? So problem to solution. How do we transition? How do we work within the team of a data analysis team? So as a new job aspirants, this is really important crucial training. This is a really important crucial discussion we should have with lots and lots of hands-on experience. The primary tool which we are going to use here is basically the Microsoft Excel tool, which is simple enough, right? We have done quite a good amount of Excel sheets. We've used it for so long years, and that's what we're going to do. We're going to learn the analysis with Excel by default, and then we're going to have a look at it. Couple of good advanced tools as well, which will help us out to transition from a novice to a data analytics, and then take a step further as and when we move in our career path. And Guru School is going to help you out throughout transitioning that career from a novice to reach to a level where we are going to understand how we can tackle this better. Okay. The advantage of Guru School. Let's talk about 6-pillar offering here. This track predominantly is a shorter track, 6 to 8 weeks. The training of data analyst training track, and what we are targeting here at it's a base start salary of 90K. So whenever you are through with this training, you are ready to join any job in the north of 90K or approximately 100K plus. That's what the normal market demand suggests as of now. But I'm trying to put a conservative figure here. So nothing less than 90K per annum per year. That's what we are looking for as our target salary in American, North American, as well as Canadian job market. You're going to receive a post-completing certificate, and that you can produce or share with your family and friends to make sure that you have completed one of the most prominent training in the industry. So now you can be a data analyst in corporate America, corporate Canada. Then we are going to help you out on reference ready resume preparation as well. So there are a couple of good HR experts in our team who are going to review your resumes and going to make sure you have the actual corporate aligned resume. So if you are basically working in Midwest, what are the industry around you, how we can align that profile, that resume according to those industry, okay, and so on and so forth. There are quite a few good number of nooks and corners within the reference ready resume, because resume is a kind of marketing document you share across various recruiters, various organizations. So if your marketing document is ready, good, hot cake, then it will really help you out to land a good job offer as quickly as possible. Then vendor and Q&A preparation. We have good number of question and answer bank with us, which will basically make sure you are ready with almost 60 to 80% of the interviews. Normally, these questions are repeated, right? So whenever you go through these recordings, videos, question banks, you're making basically getting more and more confident to clear that interview. And for each of these track, depending on the relative job description, you have those Q&As given to you, and you'll work on those Q&A, and then you'll be ready for this question and answer whenever the interview asks you. The end client question and answer preparation. This is the most crucial part, or you can say as the last obstacle to grab the job offer. Even Guru Schools helps you out there to make sure, according to the job description, according to the job market, according to a specific company, what they are looking for. So how should be your answer concerning that specific organizations? We are going to help you there as well. And there's something called ongoing project support. So when you start working, you'll get a 6-month job support from Guru School. Okay, and that's how this whole 6-pillar offering for Guru School helps us to make sure whenever you're trying to transition your career from a novice to a corporate America worker, corporate Canadian worker, specifically in IT industry, because we have maximum of our corporate partners coming from IT companies. Okay, we have others as well, but let's see how we can grab the best possible offer and start joining with us. Specifically for female, this is a really good encouragement, as quite a few IT organizations within North American region, they are looking for STEM. STEM in the sense, ladies encouragement into American corporate job market. That's how American government's way to support female, enthusiasts to join on job, to work on a job. Okay, and that's how this special initiative from American government, even Guru School is basically going on these for almost quite a few years now. Okay, and we are going to help you out on this. Then again, the 6 pillars. So first we start with instructor-led training. Then we have certificate distribution ceremony. Then we work you out with the resume preparation. To be precise, whenever you enroll with Guru School, you will start with resume preparations. You'll start with actually building your profile step by step. You'll start understanding what the market demands, how your marketing document should be. That's the kind of first step. Instructor led, of course, you normally get enrolled for a particular track, right? Let's say data analysis. Now here we are trying to have 6 to 8 week training, and this will help you to grab that job offer without much sweat and blood. Of course, you need to put some efforts. Yes, efforts are required from your side as well, but we are also going to put quite a few number of efforts to make sure you grab that job offer as early as possible and start working, start gaining experience on job, on the actual corporate floor. And that's how we're going to help you out. We're going to help you out on interview preparations. We're going to help you out on client interview preparations. And there's a project support for 6 months from Guru School as well. So a Guru School's enrollment gives all these things to you. So let's stop thinking and let's start actionating items. Let's start enrollment at a Guru School and start getting new trainings like data analytics. Simple enough. You don't have to do a kind of PhD or you don't have to put sweat and blood into that. But yes, you need to put some efforts and you'll grab that job offer for you. This batch is specifically for new job aspirants which are either never worked or worked for a few months or a few years within the IT fraternity. Why IT? Because IT pays good, right? And as even North American and Caribbean market know, we Indians are made for IT, information technology, computer software, computer analytics, and that's why we as a Guru School are helping you out to build these good career profile as far as IT candidates goes. Just to list down few trainings which we have started at Guru School, we have Agile Scrum, then we have business analysis, project management, skilled agile and product owner as a one accelerated track. Then we have business analysis, quality assurance and Scrum. This is again an accelerated track, combined track. Then we have big data, cloud DevOps, cyber security, data science, Python, and quite a few good number of tracks available. And as you can see, we are normally working with various newer technologies, newer advancement for North American and Caribbean job markets. Okay, if any questions, you can write us at inquiries.com or training@guruschool.com or call on that number, which I'm going to share with you. And then basically, you can take your questions at career counseling session as well. We have career counseling sessions on Mondays, Wednesdays, and Fridays at 12 noon EST. And I'll share the link with you so that you can go join that. And then you can ask your questions as well and get the enrollment process complete. Okay, let me talk a few things about why we are choosing this track and how these salary figures are looking for, or how we raise this salary figure and jot down at that 90K figure. A simple entry level data analyst can start from the lowest. These are basically Midwestern figure where you can start with 75 to 80K as well. These are the lowest salary figure, and I'm trying to be on a conservative side here, right? So these things do happen in a real job market. Whenever you share your resume with couple of company, when you start applying, let's say through LinkedIn or through the local job market, there could be a scenario like organizations can negotiate with you on a lower salary level, and that's why those vendor interview and client interview, we will prepare you to make sure you could negotiate your salary very well. And that's why these 75 you can take up to 90K plus. Okay, and then data analysis experience. Let's say if you prepare your profile in a way like you can show your experience for at least 2 or 3 years, then you can start your job for 90K plus. It can take you to 170K plus. We have some good selections like a data analyst started working at 160K per year. Well, of course, he has a experience in infrastructure. That's why it's really helped a lot. So if you have any supporting experience, be it teaching, be it banking, you can be a banking data analyst, and that really give a good leverage for your job selections, job opportunity, grabbing kind of scenario. So that's why be a data analysis with whatever experience you have, and we will basically make sure you will get the best job opportunity available within your region. Okay, then there are various other career progressions here. You can be a data engineer, which can give you good what you can say added skill set to your profile. You can be a data scientist. That's a kind of next step. If you be a data scientist, then you are looking for anything north of 20K to 30K plus kind of salaries here. And that's how you can be a good, good stable job with amount of research and mathematics included in your job portfolio. We also have a good track on Python data scientists. Python is the easiest track for data scientists. Python is the easiest environment to build data scientist portfolio solutions. Okay, let me take further and let's start. Let's start to understand the agenda or the content of this training. The content can be, we can start understanding the data, the basic element, how information technology work. Then try to define a data theoretically, because there are some questions on data. We'll basically work on that. Then how do we process this data? So there will be some data collection, data cleaning, data augmentation, and all these things. We're going to study each and every these scenario, trying to do some hands-on practices, how to collect data, how to clean data, how to augment data. Augment in the sense, make sure you are presenting data in the line of the solution need, in the line of the business, decision needs, and so on. So there's a gathering data, gathering requirement, cleaning, alignment, discovery of data in the sense, with a petabyte of data, you normally discover that data with three or four conclusive English statement. Okay, this is what the reporting of the data as well. Then data analytics, you present the data. You present the data in a pie chart, graph, trend analysis, distribution data, and so on and so forth. There are ways you normally analyze the data, you present the data, and then there's a reporting. Reporting is basically kind of detached mechanism, which is nowadays becoming more and more live. So you are basically going to have live data update on a website, on a web portal, and we're going to learn how that happens. Okay, so these are all actually included in the agenda, or as a training, training contents, you can say. As a act as a data custodian and a controller. How do you control these data? How do you act as a data custodian? Custodian in the sense, in case of fire, earthquake, or some natural calamity, or war, because war is really prominent challenge as of now, right? How do you make sure the data is stored safe somewhere? What are the restore backup restore policies and procedures? That also we'll consider, we'll include in this training. Create a report templates, data gathering tools. What are the templates? Templates are pre-formatting reporting. Only the data element change, the rest of the report remains same. How do you present such report? How do you build such templates? And so on and so forth. Then there's a trend analysis, alignment with the client planning team for, let's say, facility management. So if you're working on something like facility management and somebody comes to you and tell you, man, I need to have a wireless, coverage throughout my facility. So we'll collect some data. We'll try to understand what data to collect, how to present, and how to give inference from that data, so that the implementation can be really a breeze, right? And that's what we do as a data analyst. We create solution out of data. That's the most important and great part of data analyst. Deliver output files for report, dashboard, okay, and so on and so forth. There are quite a few good number of options to deliver such inferences to the business. Then work on data integrity. How do we edit data? How do you validate data? How do you do data mining? How do you realign the data? And all these things comes under data integrity. So we're going to spend some time on data integrity also. Work with finance, budget targets, how to understand how budgetary figures we've reached. So we'll help different departments to reach those budgetary figures. We'll understand the business to make sure if your sales for the last 4 years are such and such number. What will be the sales in the next year? Are there any external, challenging factor? Are there some external encouragement factors so that we can change the trend analysis according to that? So trend analysis is basically a kind of extrapolation, and then we add certain scenarios, priorities to that, so that we are basically resulted in an actual practical figure what we are targeting to, and we try to proofread that. So we're going to understand how do you report, how do you proofread, how do you present. So even data presentation is one of the most important part of a data analysis. Okay, then generate reports and various other type of reports as well for these data analysis resultant presentation. Let me talk about myself. I'm Ravindra Pandey. I've been doing training, corporate training for around 28 plus years. I've traveled around, 18 different countries and so on and so forth. I'm certified in quite a few trainings. Basically, I'm a lead trainer for, PMI, BAPO skill, Agile and Business Analysis track. I'm a lead trainer on data scientist as well, data science with Python, and various other tracks. So I'm working with Good School for quite a few years as a trainer now, and I'll be happy to lead this track as well. And that's why I'm giving you this introductory training for data analysis. We have quite a few good number of other trainers also we closely work with. So we have Richa ma'am, we have Priya ma'am, and various other trainings which are basically going to help us out in getting this data analysis training through. Data analysis training a more interesting day by day. Okay, let's try to understand. Let's try to throw some light on data analysis. Why we do these things? There's a data. Data is everywhere, right? Whenever you click a picture with your mobile, it creates some data. It creates some data. The picture is one part of it. Then there's something called metadata. I don't want to confuse you, so I'm not going into the depth. But let's try to understand how mobile understand the picture. Mobile understand the picture from time and date of you clicked, the location you clicked, and if you can add up to that metadata, or you can classify the metadata in much better way, you normally do this effectively with adding this metadata in a step-by-step manner, or modifying this metadata, updating this metadata in a specified manner. So all files which are not either text or flat files, we normally use metadata as a reference material for these imaginary data, movie data, and so on and so forth. So we're going to understand how do you basically analyze such file. How do you analyze statistically? So we're going to understand some statistical methods. We are not going to be a data scientist, but we'll understand enough statistics so that if somebody says, share me the exponential, growth of these figures, so you should be able to present that within a couple of presentation slides. And learning to present is also one of the most important part also. So there'll be something like descriptive analysis, diagnostic analysis, predictive analysis, prescriptive analysis, and so on and so forth. Or how these terms relates to each other, how these terms different from one to another, and how the overall data analysis progressively evolves. That's what we're going to learn in our data analysis track. Then data analysis for sales and marketing. What these domains, let's call these as a work angles domains, how they look as far as data analysis goes. So how do you build a deeper insights? How do you build an improved customer experience? How do you identify a growth opportunity, regional growth opportunity, product-wise growth opportunity, and so on and so forth. So in sales and marketing, these are the main points we could have. We could add more as well if there's a need. Then in the healthcare, we have these data collected on almost daily, minutes by minutes, second by second basis. How do you analyze this data? How do you categorize this data? Then there's something called network analysis or network data or cloud data. That's what we normally call. So how many users? What are the data bandwidth required? What is data volume requirement? And so on and so forth. We're going to learn on that as well. So data analysis is a very prospective growth opportunistic skill. It's just start with understanding data, capturing data, collecting data, reliable streaming data pipeline. If it's a continuous data, How do you build a continuous data streaming pipeline? Go to learn that. How do you store data? How do you take backup? How do you take restore? How do you secure your data? How do you build a data warehouse? And how do you apply the advanced analysis analytics to it? We'll simply start with a data source. So what is source? How it is to be handled? How do you format the data? How do you make sure the data is aligned to the business need? Right? And there are many more things to learn as far as data analysis goes. Then, as the picture depicts, the process step by step, how to basically data from cloud, how cloud gives you data, how normally the data transfer works on a cloud, and how do you archive data on a cloud, how do you push the data to a big data or a database for that matters. How do you create a big query? How do you create SQL query? We are not going to learn deep on a querying languages as such because nowadays many organizations use different tools and techniques. So we're going to start with Excel. We're going to throw some light on MS SQL. Throw some light on MySQL, which is an open system, free of cost data access tool, and will basically play around with couple of queries, basic queries. Okay, if you want advanced query or if there's a need, we can have those sessions before the interview or on job support time. So don't worry on that part as well. And then what are the advanced data analytics look like? Where does that TensorFlow works? How do you get that thing working? How do you do sheets analysis? How do you do lookup within those sheets and analyze those trends and so on and so forth? There are lots and lots of tools and techniques available. We're going to learn the simplest one in this cadre. If you want to learn in depth, I would suggest you to join the Python data science type of track, which will basically take you to a research level, to a scientist level. Okay, let me carry forward. And there are some usage scenario we want to discuss. We will discuss what is data processing, what is data as in textual data, voice data, image data, what are the services, data services are normally provided. Whatever you go through CNN, BBC, the embedded HTML, there are some data links embedded in that. So those links, how do you have live data streaming going through those links? So those embedding data elements, how project management work in terms of management information system. Each and every organization has MIS. How MIS is handled by a data scientist, how MIS is handled by a data analyst. And all these data analysts, you can be a good data analyst as far as management information system goes. We're going to study MIS in detail. Then predictive data analysis, regional data analysis. And there are some new initiatives. How do you do business analysis with the data? How do you do requirement analysis? And we'll throw some light on that as well. So you could be a business analyst always. The prominent role, what we are looking for is data analyst, not the business analyst. Data analyst is a superset. Data analyst has a bigger scope than a business analyst. Could you be a business analyst? Yes, you definitely could be a business analyst, but prominently we are looking for a data analyst type of role, which pays a bit better than a business analyst. Data analysts include business analysts as a superset. Data analysts work with technical teams, programming teams to collect, analyze, and solution building. So data analysts do build solutions. They develop some reporting services. They develop some business intelligence services. They develop some creative dashboard or MIS or analytical finding, as we say. So reporting in data analysis is at a in-depth level. Business analysts, they normally tackle to the business requirement and business conceptual solution generation. Okay, let me take you further of understanding the job responsibilities. As a data analyst, you design, develop, and implement and support as well the mission critical enterprise business intelligence. So we'll understand what is business intelligence. How do we build intelligence from the data? How do you build intelligence from information? How do you validate it? How do you qualify it? How do you participate in MIS analyst? How do you build this analysis for an organization so that the top boss can decide and that? And there are many other job responsibilities, as I mentioned. We are going to prepare you as per the job requirement for a given interview. So don't worry on these things. There could be really catchy phrases here. But still, at the end of the day, the MIS, the dashboards, the reporting, we're going to learn all these things one step at a time. So that's why we have planned this thing for a 6 to 8 week type of training. And we're going to understand various examples of data analysis. There are lots and lots of hands-on training. And of course, the major outcome of a data analysis, a decision analysis. How do you make a decision? So we support the decision-making process of a top management, and that's the basic use of data analysis. Let's try to take an example of how do you take a business decision, like which sitcom to be released within Midwest. I've just taken as a sample which comes to my mind. So how do you decide? You basically go to the history of the viewer, history of the region, what type of sitcoms they like, what type of movies they like, and then plan such streaming into those regions so that you can earn good profit, you can earn good subscriptions as well. And this is how you target a particular region with a particular marketing strategy, with a particular sales strategy, with a particular top management strategy. And that's the best thing about this data analysis. We work with really crucial decision-making processes for the top bosses of a company. And that's really rewarding, believe me. Data analysis also get appreciated left and right. So this is really a satisfying job role if you're looking for starting up an IT career. Okay, then I mentioned a couple of additional job responsibility. Have a look at the pause this video and have a look at these things. If you have a question, please join us on this candidate counseling session at 12 noon EST on these links of Google Meet, which are included here, and we'll be happy to solve all your questions and queries before enrolling. And after enrolling, well, you'll be a part of Go School family, so you don't have to really look further. You will have a specific WhatsApp group, specific email group, specific Google team group, so that you can ask your queries there as well. Okay, and I'm a certified Google trainer for various Google cloud development analytical services as well. So please don't worry, you are in a great hand, and we're going to learn these data scientists with a good hands-on experience. Yes, efforts are needed, but they are not like mammoth efforts here. And we are targeting the low-hanging fruits here. If you ask me, we are targeting a job market for 90K plus or 100K plus on an average. So don't look further. Make your decision fast. Make your decision and start getting into action mode. Let's start learning. Let's try to understand how US North American job market can help us making a few dollars, making really great dollars within the corporate career. Okay, if you have any questions, do call us, do email us, or do join our candidate counseling session, and we'll be happy to answer all your questions. Okay, I'm concluding session here, but by no means this is the last communication. Believe me, I would like you to join us on a candidate counseling session if you have any questions, or you can just email and phone us. Okay, again, thanks a lot for your time. Thanks a lot for watching this. Have a good night. Have a good one. Thanks a lot. Bye. Take care.